There's the goal activity.
Okay, it looks like we are all good to go then. My name is Kira Ryan, and I would like to call this meeting of the ASWW Executive Board on August 12th, 2023 at 6:04 p.m. First, we're going to start off with consent items. The first consent item that we have listed is Nathan Sim. There's been a couple of questions about his eligibility to serve on this committee, so I would like to move that we would table the discussion of Nathan Sim's appointment to Activities Council to a future meeting. Second, and it has been seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay, no discussion. All those in favor of adopting the motion say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Any abstentions? Motion approved as stated. Okay, so next we will be moving on to the appointments to the Sustainability, Equity, and Justice Fund. And I will pass it over to Vice President Pratt.
Yeah, I would also like to move to table the appointment of Bryce Groen to next week's meeting. I sent him an email making sure that he was still able to commit, and I have not heard anything back yet, so I don't want to move forward until I am absolutely sure.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor of adopting the motion say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Any abstentions? Motion approved as stated. Okay, so next we are moving on to the appointments for Sustainability and Equity Justice Fund for Kate Conway.
Yeah, they're cool. They are managing the whole pantry this year. They have a lot of experience working with the Outback and just food justice topics in general.
I'd like to move to appoint Kate Conway to the Sustainability and Equity Justice Fund.
Can I do that?
We can have somebody else.
Okay.
I move to appoint Kate Conway to the Sustainability, Equity, and Justice Fund.
Brett seconds.
It has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? No discussion. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. Any abstentions? Motion to appoint Kate Conway to the Sustainability and Equity Justice Fund passes. Okay, next we are going to be moving on to revisions of the agenda. I move that we table the discussion for parliamentary procedure, which is an info item from the board that was brought forward by Senate President Wong. We table it to another meeting. And Senate President Wong is unable to be with us today. And so we wanted to have a conversation where they were able to present their agenda item and also have further discussion on it.
Did you make the motion or did you do it?
I did.
Okay, second.
It has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. It has been, or any abstentions? Okay, it has been motion to table parliamentary procedure discussion to another meeting has been approved. Are there any other revisions to the agenda?
I would like to move the action item of the Legislative Affairs Council charge and charter. I would like to table that to the next meeting.
5 seconds.
Discussion.
I do not think that we, or any discussion, Ryan Sheeher, I do not think that we should move it and table it to another meeting. I think we should discuss it at this meeting, but it should be an information item. I think there are some points to, because we're likely tabling it due to the membership question and waiting for confirmation from membership. I think that there are other parts of the agenda that are important to still discuss, and I think it should be, if we want to vote on it next week, I think it's important that we still continue discussion on it and we don't cease discussion on it and then have it as an action item. I feel like it'll then be 2 weeks since we brought it forth, and it might not have an as informed decision when it comes forward as an action item then.
Okay, so I rescind my motion to table. I'd like the motion to take it from an action item to an information item.
Present.
It has been moved and seconded. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor of adopting the motion say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Any abstentions? Motion approved as stated. To move the Legislative Affairs Council Charter and Charter to an information item. Okay, is anybody here for public forum? No. Okay, so next we are going to move into officer reports. And that would be me. I just wanted to give a quick update from the Activities Council. We currently have a vacancy for the Vice President for Activities that we're working on filling. I've reached out to, we are taking an interesting approach this year to hopefully get a couple more applicants that are interested in it, instead of just sending out regular emails advertising. And along with doing that, we're sending out emails and working with the communications office in order to advertise the Vice President for Activities position. But I've also sent out emails to different professors and then also deans and department heads to ask for applicant recommendations that we would then contact the students that the deans and department heads or professors recommend, and then say that you were suggested by so-and-so professor, you've been identified as a student leader on campus, we think that you would be a good fit for this position, or like this professor thinks you could be a good fit for this position. We encourage you to like review the application, or something to that effect. And so yeah, hopefully we can get a couple more applicants for that. So far we don't have any, but we still have quite a little bit before the application for that closes. But until then, while it is vacant, I'm currently seated as the chair of the Activities Council. We had our first meeting yesterday, and we approved $563.43 to be spent and dispersed among clubs. Additionally, in executive session, we approved about another $300 for different clubs, but I think some of them that we approved we approved $200 for Management Information Systems Association. They're a CDE club, and they have been suffering from low attendance rates, and so they approached Activities Council to get a grant in order to fund food at their first meeting in order to attract some more people. And then we also gave $163.47 to the Women in Engineering Club. The chair of that club came and spoke at Activities Council, and they are the only person in their engineering program at Western. So they're the only woman in their engineering program at Western. And so they're trying to fundraise. The $163 is going to go towards starting a fundraiser where they're going to try and collect dues for their 5 members to become official Women in Engineering Association, like international members, which dues for that are about $27. But hopefully they're able to accomplish that. And then we're also trying to pursue other funding mechanisms that we have and really kind of unlock anything that's possible for them. And then I think we also gave Molecular Bio Club $200, which I forget what that's for, but it's pretty cool. And so we only have $8,000 to spend in Activities Council per quarter, but we have had an influx of requests ranging from $600 to about $1,000 like range. And so we're worried about, because we think we've had about 2 or 3 in the 1,000 range in the past week and another 2 or 3 in the 500 to 600 range. So just budgetarily wise, we've seen a very increase in activities among clubs. And so we're just trying to be aware of how much money we're spending and trying to equally distribute it between all of the clubs, because we have 200 clubs and only about $20 or $8,000 per quarter to give clubs. So it's kind of hard amongst 200 people or 200 clubs and then 16,000 students at Western. Okay, next I will, oh yes.
I just wanted to ask which colleges you reached out to.
Yeah, so far the ones that I have done are College of Humanities and Social Sciences, Fine and Performing Arts, and then Science and Engineering are the 3 colleges that we've reached out completely to. Yes.
And are you doing that through like your own volition, or are you contacting
Yes.
senators from the college and having them do it?
I was doing that through my own volition just because I knew those 3 deans already and some people within the department, but my hope is to create more of a collaborative process in it, and then also, since we've been struggling with committee applications as well, create a collaborative process with the student senate to also advertise those, of like bringing it up in their dean meetings or just talking to people at clubs, since they're such a great way to interact with people and really reach people for things. So yeah, and hopefully be having professors recommend. I don't know if it'll work out, but hopefully we can get some applicants or entice some people. So
Do you know Ron at the rec center?
is he like in charge of the rec center?
Yeah.
I've talked to him a little bit. Yeah.
He might be a good person to reach out to. I know that Noah had kind of a hard time getting the student government's fingers in the rec center, which is a huge community hub, I feel like, for the school. So it might be a good person to ask.
Yeah, I like that we could maybe hang up posters or something to advertise, because I've already been in contact with him because the VP for activities sits on the Recreation Center Advisory Board, so that's a very good idea. Okay, I will pass it over to Vice President Godwin.
All right, so my chair report. I really have 2 updates for Legislative Affairs Council and also Lobby Day. So with Legislative Affairs Council, last week, just a little recap, I was discussing a lot of our recruitment efforts and trying to have applications coming through, and that is something that I am still continuously working through, and having a little trouble with the confirmations just across the university of certain of the groups that we had listed that we want to name and include in the committee, with the global conflict going on. That kind of took precedence over my little committee. So that's why I wanted to move it from an action item to an information item, just because we don't have things finalized over there. But the progress that has been made is between myself and the vice chair, Stella Seth, who's the director of legislative affairs. We have divvied up the work where she is going to be reaching out to the ADEI units, and that is the Ethnic Student Center, Black Student Coalition, Blue Resource Group, LGBTQ+ Western, Disability Outreach Center, and then Sustainability and Engagement Institute. So she is going to be the primary point of contact for them, but I have had confirmation from the Black Student Coalition, the director of the Black Student Coalition, Nia Gibson, that she has confirmed that she wants to have a student sitting on that committee. I've heard from LGBTQ+ Western that they have students that they anticipate will be on the committee. And I just heard back today from a student from the Ethnic Student Center who wants to be on the committee. So we have those 3 groups verbally confirmed, and we're still working on the Disability Outreach Center. I haven't really heard anything from them. But Stella's going to be taking up that side of things. Just today, I reached out yesterday I reached out to the political science department, and they sent out a notification to everyone who's signed up for those notifications about the LAC. So that was checking off that box. And then additionally, Fairhaven, the Law, Diversity, and Justice program. I reached out to the person in charge of that. I reached out to the environmental studies department and the people involved in environmental policy, politics, policy and governance, and the graduate school. So I'm doing the academic department side of things. I'll be reaching out to clubs, colleges, and just everybody. We get some like senators involved and having that outreach, and hopefully going to be able to finalize those applications, having like a list of people who have applied, so we can come up next week, the meeting next week, and start taking action, and then have that committee fully formed and getting the ball rolling on the legislative agenda, and figuring out how we're going to engage this new body. But that's the long-winded update on the Legislative Affairs Council. With regard to Lobby Day, I've been in conversation with a lot of people, and seeing as how the LAC isn't fully formed, part of the important decisions in the logistical planning and stuff of Lobby Day. So historically, or like in recent years, we've had 2 Lobby Days, and that's Western Lobby Day and Western Intersectional Lobby Day. And just due to a lot of factors, we've decided to have 1 Lobby Day this year, and it's going to be Western Intersectional Lobby Day, and it's going to be February 18th and 19th, 2024. So, yes, that's the big update. Because
Can you
that's
say that date one more time?
February 18th and 19th, 2024. So I reached out to the vendors for the hotel and for the bus charter company to update the contracts that they had sent me. So yeah, we're planning to put more resources into doing 1 Lobby Day and making it bigger and better and bringing a lot of students to Olympia. So yeah, just continuing my work on that, but that's the big update with Lobby Day.
Okay, next, in place of the Senate President, Gabe Wong, I would like to recognize Vice Chair of the Student Senate, Daisy Durbin.
Hi, I have some updates from Gabe. First, I know this is on your agenda as well. We approved Finance Council's membership changes. Oh, actually, I don't know if that's on your agenda, if that specifically is. I know that their charters on your agenda, but we approved their membership changes. And then, oh, by the way, sorry, this is all reports from our meeting this past week. Yeah, sorry. Woodring College, their senators presented us with a statement that they had created to hopefully present to their dean. And it is a statement on inclusivity and accessibility. And it was a really great statement. We're kind of workshopping it all together now. So there's that. We elected vice chair, which is me. We shared some goals. And then we started really documenting all of the committees that each senator is on, and just ensuring that people know, or senators know, that they can sit on their, their committees in their colleges that are faculty governance committees, as well as the faculty policy committees, I believe. And so those are really big committees that Gabe wants everybody to be sitting on. And then there was one more thing. Oh yes, an update on our vacant seats. We have no applications for the grad school senator seats, so those are still open, and we're working on outreach more. I think now that we have a vice chair elected, the outreach will be larger, and because there'll be someone else also working on that, because we do have 2 applications, and we're moving forward with reviewing those for the CBE vacancy. And I think the reason why we had that is because I'm also the senator for the College of Business and Economics, so there was somebody there advocating for it, but there's no one in the grad school advocating for it. And so we're really working on that. And I believe those are all of our updates. Any questions? Yes.
Were any senators appointed to any committees this meeting, or?
No, not by the Senate.
Okay.
we just documented who was already sitting on their committees. And I believe we will be appointing students, like at-large students, because there are quite a few committees that need at-large students. I also recently joined ACC, and we are currently looking for a student to sit on ACC, if anybody's interested.
Thank you.
Yes.
Did you guys discuss the Legislative Affairs Council at all?
Not at this past meeting, we did not. Would you like me to make a note of discussing it at the next meeting?
Yeah,
Cool.
or just, yeah, I got in contact with Gabe, but I didn't hear back from them, probably just they're sick, so.
The Legislative Affairs Council?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. I know there were a few things we didn't get to our last meeting, so maybe that was.
Yeah, because we want to have a senator, but, yeah, that's a process for the Senate to figure out, but I wanted to be part of y'all's discussion for the next one.
Sounds good. I would love to put that on the agenda and talk about that.
I'm gonna piggyback off of that. I'm not entirely sure who our senator is for the SHF committee. And
Oh, okay.
I heard it might be Quincy, but that hasn't been confirmed to me yet, so
Yeah, I
just
didn't
if that could
know
be.
that. Okay, yeah.